Right, okay. Oh, sorry. Bad start. Video number 3, what makes a good twist? Slight confession to make. What I usually do with these commentaries is that I'll watch it through once or twice and then start making down little notes and start thinking about, little anecdotes to talk about, little cool things to do. With this one, that was a little bit tougher to do because I had real trouble going back and watching this because I just don't think it's that great. I just basically this video started live originally. I wrote it as an article for this is Xbox.com, and if you've listened to my previous commentaries, especially my first one, you'll know that my whole channel started because I had a couple of weeks off work and I had nothing to do, so I thought, all right, let's try this whole YouTube thing. Let's see what the brouhaha is, and I figured to save some time and to save a little energy, I would do a video based on an article I have already written, and I would rewrite the article to suit a video. And it sort of made it quite a kind of a bit of a dull experience, and kind of wish I didn't do it. I don't think it's the worst article. I don't think it's the worst video. It's probably one of my. There are two videos. The second I'll get to in a future case that I think I could have either done something better with, made some fundamental changes to, or just not do altogether. And this is one of them. I think some of the things I say are fine. I do think there's a little bit of cynicism about twists just now. They're just sort of a money grubbing thing, a marketing ploy, and I just find it kind of dull. And there's some things I wish I added to this. Like recently, I actually saw Cracked did a interesting video. It was a very clickbait worthy. They always do clickbait worthy titles, but their content's usually still quite good. About how J.J. Abrams doesn't understand Star Wars. Again, very clickbait worthy. But there's a bit where J.J. Abrams did a TED talk where he puts a box with a question mark on it on the stage, and he starts talking about how, you're all wondering what's in this box, so I'm going to open this box and it's going to blow your mind. And yeah, I completely disagree with that assertion. This twist here from Empire Strikes Back, the reason it was such a great twist at the time is because they didn't build it up. It just it naturally fit the story. You know, it helped tell the story of the character Luke Skywalker. You know, he's thinking, I'm just going to go fight this bad guy, no big deal. Oh wait, he's my dad. I don't want to fight him anymore. You know, that it helped fit with that. It wasn't like you weren't being told all along, like, there's a twist coming. You know, there weren't little hints going on about it. Just, the best twists just sort of happen because they're natural. Like, I really don't like it, especially in like the Bioshock games, especially where the whole story feels like it's revolving around this twist. Like, the twist is the reason to come in and see this game or film, if that's the case. Especially with M. Night Shyamalan stuff, like, you're just sitting there thinking, okay, what's the twist? And to the extent that, like, I actually quite like The Village, the film. I knew what the twist was going into it, and a lot of my friends didn't, and I have something of a theory that's sort of why I liked it. Yeah, I think the script's a little ropey, the dialogue's a little ropey, but I really like the way it's shot. There's a lot of. It's actually quite emotional at times. I actually quite like The Village, but a lot of people were just the first thing they complain about is, the twist's rubbish, and I completely agree. But I knew the twist going into it, so I wasn't really thinking about that. I was just thinking about this really well shot, pretty well acted. Bryce Dallas Howard's really good in it, and yeah, getting off topic. Yeah, like this part here, I sort of repeat the same point. That's my biggest problem with this video, is that I sort of repeat the same point. It's a fine. I don't even know if it's a fine point. I just basically say twists should be good. And yeah, and then I rag on Bioshock for a bit. One thing I am actually quite deeply ashamed of with this video is how basically hardly any of the footage is mine. I just basically took it all from YouTube. I all of a sudden just realised this whilst I was sitting here. Right. Let me just have a quick scrub through. The Walking Dead footage is mine. Knights of the Old Republic. I spent about a good 12 hours playing through Knights of the Old Republic just to record all the footage I wanted, because I wanted it to be the same character. It's something you probably don't really care about, but you'll notice how the opening of the game, that's how the game opens, and then I just wanted it still to be her because I cared about that sort of continuity. And this is like over 20 hours into the game, and this was like, oh, less than 20 hours, of course. Like the first playthrough, probably about 20 hours, but I can complete the game in less than 20 hours now because I've completed it. I love Night. I've played Knights of the Republic about 20 times. But none of this is mine. Quite disappointed by that. And that scene there, I really don't like this scene. I just, like, it basically, Comstock basically, I'm paraphrasing, but he says something along the lines of, "Oh, I've been doing all this stuff, and all I ever had to do was tell the truth," sort of thing. Just basically, the whole game's pointless, you know. Just, I think the story in this game is so dumb. It requires, like, Booker basically just remembers nothing about his life. That's the only way that these dumb twists can work. I mean, there's a lot to like in Bioshock. I actually quite like the way it plays. And in my trial and error video, of course, talk about my main problem with it. But, you know, I'll get to that in a future video. Probably the trial and error one. And, like, yeah, and as much as I liked the village, even at this point, I did sort of groan. I was like, oh, who cares? I don't care. No one cares. Quite a weird glitch here. Again, not my footage, I know. The splicer, keep your eye. Yeah, whoa. I said keep your eye. Keep your eye on him. Or her, can't remember. Look. Boom! It's gone. That's a weird thing to happen. I mean, I stand by a lot of what I say, you know, like the better twists, like where you have you going back and watching through it a second time and realising, oh, whoa, that totally makes sense. I mean, I think I make that point rather saliently with this footage. Like, there we are. Like, you know, Bastila throughout the entire game knows who you are, and this is the first time you see each other here. She's like, wait, I don't believe this. And she's thinking, holy shit, that's Revan, but she has to keep up the appearances. You know, I think that's cool. I like stuff like that. But the stuff in Bioshock and that, when you play through it a second time, you're not thinking, except for maybe like I mentioned, sorry, my flatmate just ordered a pizza or something. You're not thinking about, except for possibly the Atlas thing. Every time he says, "Would you kindly," you're sort of like, oh, I'm brainwashed. I don't think my flatmate is answering the door. Whatever. Yeah, sorry, I don't think he's answering. Whatever. It's probably just like if it's not a pizza, it's probably like a Jehovah's Witness or something. Then they can. Oh no, here he comes. Yeah, okay, that's sorry. A nice little 30-second aside. Yeah, I sort of bring up this double standard where I say, oh yeah, hypnosis. If you're going to use hypnosis, that's so lame. It's so lazy. Although Knights of the Old Republic does use hypnosis, and I really like that. And I still don't entirely know what the difference. I think the main difference, like I say in the video, is that at least it sort of changes the way you look at it. Whereas in the other game, in like Old Boy, sorry if I've ruined any of these. I should have given a spoiler warning at the beginning, but I did flash up the word spoiler warning here, and I'm assuming you've seen this video if you're watching this. And so yeah, in Old Boy, it's just sort of like, oh, you were hypnotized into having sex. Oh, not you. The main character was hypnotized into having sex with their daughter or something. I mean, who cares? You know, it's if it happened some other way, whatever. And yeah, you know, I don't know, just the stuff I actually quite like this point here. The twists have become something of a money grubbing, bean counting tactic. Like, the cool thing about this twist in Call of Duty 4 was that you weren't expecting it. Like, you're sort of thinking you're playing a typical standard shooter, and then all of a sudden, a nuke just went, whoa, that's crazy. And then the people at Activision were like, oh, people liked that twist. Maybe even Infinity Ward felt the need to one-up themselves. They're like, alright, we need to do it again, so let's just have these people killing people in an airport, and then we'll have a bit in outer space, and then we'll have what's his face? I've forgotten the actor's name. He's in Mass Effect. He's in Aliens. He's killing that. Whoa! At this point, I just sort of became a bit numb to the whole thing, and that level in particular was annoying. That you had to die over and over again just to get there. Then at the end, you get this cutscene where you die anyway, and it's just so pointless. And this twist was dumb. That in Heavy Rain, the old Shelby boy was the killer the whole time, because the game has to actually outright lie to you to make its dumb twist work. You're in control. I've forgotten what his name is. I'm gonna call him Shelby because who cares. You control him during certain points, but at the end, the game basically admits that it was lying to you, and that during the bits you were controlling him, you weren't controlling him, because I don't know, it's just so dumb. If you can make the twist work without any stuff, any breaking your own rules, then that's fine. And a little gag here for Rosebud. And actually, yeah, the music, the fuck the police, I just wanted a sort of, look at me, look how tough an obvious joke, but recently I went to see, I never really knew what the song was about. I didn't really know much about NWA, is that what they're called? Sorry. I obviously, I know so little about them that I'm not even 100% sure that that's their name. And at the time, I just sort of thought, oh yeah, fuck the police, that'd be funny. But then after seeing that Straight Out of Compton film, I sort of feel bad for using it, because that song's actually got quite a lot of meaning to it. They were treated so badly by the police, and I'm just sort of using it for a dumb joke. And so as soon as I walked out the film, I was like, oh, it's a good film, but I feel bad for using it for my dumb little joke. And Game of Thrones is cool. I actually do kind of wish I made notes now. I just don't have much to. Season 6 is starting soon. That should give you a timeline if you aren't watching this as soon as I put it up. That's the way I'm doing this. And Silent Hill 2, I remember I was quite young when I first played this. I didn't really get that it was a twist or something. It sort of passed me by. God, when did I first play Silent Hill 2? I can't remember. Years ago. Anyway. I've only played it once. And one weird thing that, I sort of felt like this is something of a glory shot, just because you spend the entire video watching footage of these Jedis and Sith standing about. No, there. 50% of the video is just watching this, and I figured it would be quite a cool thing just at the end, just to finally have something happen in that room. I don't know, it made sense at the time to have the final shot of the whole, other than the Orson Welles joke, to have the final shot be something finally happening. And I don't think it worked. Who cares? It's not a very good video. It's not the worst thing of all time. It could have been a 2-minute video, or I could have just studied it a bit more. This was back in the days where I'm going to talk about this a lot more in my What Makes a Good Boss Battle video, but my first 4 videos were very much I did next to no research. I did a little bit fact checking. Sorry, my words are failing me. Just to make sure that the stuff that that the films I'm talking about are the films I'm talking about, But I didn't do any research. I didn't watch any other videos. I didn't read any articles. I just sort of lied on my bed for a few hours and just sort of I made notes, and then just sort of turned those notes into an article, and then my first the Great Levels ones are a different case. They're just sort of me talking about these games that I really like, but the Stories in Open Worlds one doesn't really show as much, because I still think that's a good video. But this one, it's just sort of I have one point, and I could have researched, I could have broadened my mind a little, but I just have 1 or 2 points that I repeat over and over again, much like I'm doing right now. And so I think think that'll do it. I promise not all my commentaries are going to be this dour. I just, like, if there was someone else in the room, maybe, like I've always found that, like, I like to listen, like, Community is one of my favourite TV shows. That's good. I find that Dan Harmon's the guy that created it, he's very self-deprecating, but he's always got someone else there just to sort of, you know, prop him up, just to be like, you know, it's just to keep him on target. But for season 6, Yahoo released a communitary where it's just him, and he's so it's kind of a little awkward to watch, because all he does is talk about how much, like, he feels like he failed his audience, he feels like he failed everyone watching. Oh, excuse me. And I sort of feel like I'm doing the same right now. Like, you know, we're the 5th video. What makes a good boss battle was when I finally, like, found. Excuse me. Oh my goodness, quick! I finally got into my element. But for this one, it was just like, people don't seem to hate it. Maybe a good conversation start at the very least, but I feel like I've done better, and I will do better. Thanks for watching.